Hello everyone. As a part of this new initiative under S-Ilp, IS Baba's integrated learning program, our biggest online self-study program of IS Baba, we have tried to emphasize on three factors which will definitely make a difference. Because I believe that more than intelligence, these are the three major factors that will make the difference in your preparation. One is the accountability, second is consistency, and third most important thing is the application of thoughts. And all the three things we have tried to put in this live mentorship with daily targets. Of course, we used to have this daily targets before as well, but now we have made it live with mentorship with daily targets given. The mentor would be explaining it to you on what you should be covering and what are the important areas that you should be focusing on. And usually what happens is in the morning 7 to 9 the targets are given, and between 7 to 9 somewhere in that time the mentor will come up with explaining a couple of questions from PYQs, both from prelims and mains perspective. So this factor will the evening session taken by the mentor will help you in applying what you have learned, whether it is in line with the demand of the UPSC exam. Fine. So that is how it works. So, and the first 3 to 5 sessions I'll be making it open for all, and later it will be available only to those students who have enrolled for this program. Fine. So coming to today's target, that is the first module of the S-Ilp program works out like this, from day 1 to day 5. So it is a polity module, wherein day 1 we will be covering the historical development, then schedules, preamble, citizenship, fundamental rights, DPSP, fundamental duties. So these are the 7 topics that will be covered, and the 8th day you will have a test, and then the next cycle runs. So that is how the program runs. So coming to day 1, so now I'll be focusing on day 1. So it talks about historical development, various acts and enactment of Indian Constitution. So this also overlaps with the mains topic, which says Indian Constitution, historical underpinnings, evolution, basic provisions, amendments and basic structure, right? Amendment and basic structure you'll be covering it later, right? So it actually, I mean, both the prelims and mains overlaps here. So let's see what you should be studying under historical development, all that, and even the sources have been given. Babapedia, that is current affairs, also you will have access here. Coming to day 1, see, the initial class that I would be taking, say the first 3 or the first 5 classes, you will have a video setup like this. Later on it will be either it'll go with the targets would be explained by the mentors with an audio clip, and later in the evening when the live mentorship comes, then the mentor will be available to you. So where he or she will be discussing the PYQs associated with that day targets, so that as I said before, to make sure that you have understood according to the demand of the exam. So coming to day 1, where we see the Indian Constitution, with related to Constitution, you have historical underpinnings and the evolution of the Constitution. So in the historical underpinnings, it starts off from 1773 Regulation Act to Pitt's Act to 1813 Act, 1853 Act, 1858, the Crown's rule comes into picture there. Then 1861, it all goes to 1909, 1919 to 1935 Act. So these are the important acts that you'll be studying. Here you should see how at one place how the British started strengthening their rule in India slowly and slowly, from the traders to the crown till to how it gets transferred to the crown and how they start strengthening their rule here. And also you can see the powers that are given from 1858 Act till 1935 Act to the Indians there. So what role did they play in legislative and the administrative aspects as well. And in this, the major acts would be these 3 acts, 1909, 1919, and majorly it is 1935, because that is the foundation for the present day, our present day Constitution. So in all this, of course, there might be confusion because there are a lot of provisions under each act. So I would like to say at least remember 2 to 3 important provisions under each act, because, and also you will see the slow growth of the British rule in India. So with that timelines, if you study, this will also help you in history as well. Even in history, you will be studying this aspects of it. Then the evolution of the Constitution starts with 1934 initially, where M.N. Roy comes up with this idea, and later it is backed up by Jawaharlal Nehru, and finally it gets approved in 1940 in the August offer. Later, we see the Constitution Assembly coming into picture in 1946. So, from here till it gets adopted in 1950, this is what you see in the evolution of the Constitution. Clear? Still till 1950. So, this is the difference between the historical underpinnings and evolution of the Constitution. So, what I'm trying to tell you is, please try to understand the scope of the syllabus properly. Once you understand the scope of the syllabus, then it is easy for you to decipher things and understand the questions better. So, this is what you will be studying. And even in Constitution Assembly, even that becomes an important part. Even in prelims, there were questions asked on the composition, the pass, or even the initial drafting committee members who were the members, and also the portfolios that were assigned to, especially the important portfolios whom it was assigned. All that you'll be studying here. Now coming to the other part that you would be covering in day 1 is the salient features. So in salient features, you'll be studying about the unique characteristics of the Indian Constitution, be it the secular system, the Indian parliamentary system, where a lot of questions come from, the features of the parliamentary form of government, or the federal system, then the emergency provisions as well. So all this you'll be studying, and this particular topic acts as a foundation for you when you go further into the polity topics. Because this gives you every feature, like even universal adult franchise, it talks about that. It talks about emergency provision. Emergency provision is a separate chapter in itself later, right? So this is how you'll be. These are the things that you should be focusing on, salient features here. And most importantly here, the schedules, the 24 schedules, and the sources from where we have derived each feature from. That also becomes important, because that comparative analysis also is a part of mains as well, right? So I think last time it was on Germany or France, and Indian Constitution was asked in mains a couple of years back. So you need to keep a tab on what we have actually borrowed from other countries. Clear? So this ends with day 1 targets. So wish you all the best, and prepare on these lines. And we'll meet up in the evening, wherein I'll be taking up a couple of questions, both from prelims and mains perspective, on the day 1 related topics, so that you'll have more clarity and your thought process will be aligned accordingly, right? So that is the reason I said the third part, the application thought, becomes very important here. Thank you once again.